The record compound, the finest pure vinyl obtainable, is fed into the press in granular form. Now the labels are pressed right into the record. It has taken many steps and many man-hours to get here. The sound dynamics of the music determine how far apart the grooves must be.
When you get a brand new record and it's sparkling, that black sparkle of the vinyl is what Licorice Pizza really is.
Once you start, you can't stop. They bring a connection to people.
20 years from now, they're not going to know what a CD is, but they're definitely going to know what vinyl is.
I'm always chasing that feeling, trying to find it again.
I would say we all became family at the store, all of us employees. All because of Licorice Pizza. Brought us all together.
Vinyl always runs deeper than meets the eye. It always has and always will. Those black discs are a collection of flavors and textures. Maybe that's why Abbott and Costello suggested throwing some cornstarch on them and selling them as licorice pizzas. And maybe that's why James Greenwood named his iconic Glendale record store the same. Licorice pizzas are a beautiful array of smooth grooves waiting to tell a story. A story that harmonizes with mid-century activists bringing civil rights through civil fights. A story that beats to barrier breakers, opening their first record stores from Brooklyn to Berkeley. A story that sings of a black-owned space, symbolizing that it's more than just freedom to shop, but freedom to be. Vinyl shops like SoCal's legendary Licorice Pizza defined the 70s and 80s, and provided more than just sound to the people, but a voice for them to stand behind. These shops became cultural centers, helping turn the tables on endemic racism staining the United States of America. Turntables are experiencing a resurgence, reviving the LPs, the 78s, and the 45s that spun so smoothly decades before the digital loading icons of today. People are picking up vinyl from niche shops to Targets and Walmarts, and the trend doesn't seem to be slowing. Let's hit pause and backtrack on this track back to the start of it all, the days of Licorice Pizza and record shops of the like, and to the roots of the history-changing circles known as vinyl records that have proven a universal language for generations.
Hi, I'm Kip Brown, former member of the punk rock band Shock, pop band Little Girls, and former employee at Licorice Pizza. Those days were magical. Those were pre-cell phone days, pre-internet days. I would work and I would go to the beach. That was it. I met this girl at Pierce College where I was taking graphic arts classes, and I knew she worked there because I used to hang out at the store a lot, the Licorice Pizza that was in Canoga Park. So we started talking, and then I said, God, if you ever have an opening there, I'd love to work there. I mean, it was a job everybody wanted back then. So she put in a good word for me, and at the time, Licorice Pizza was managed by this girl named Jana, assistant managed by Susan, and Nancy, who's the one that I talked to at Pierce College. And because of all three of them, I got the job. We were really on the ground floor of punk rock at the time, so we had in-stores with the Ramones, the Runaways for their second album, the Dictators, we had the Dictators in, and we were like one of the only stores in the chain to do that. So when I started working at Licorice Pizza, it was left over from the hippie days. The decor, it was like burlap sacks on the wall. They used to have fluorescent lighting covered by these wood encasements and fabric. The fire department later made them take it down because it was a fire hazard, but the store looked great inside. We used to sell tons of vinyl. Tons, I'm talking tons.
Each of the stores had like a couch inside, people sitting on a couch, which now I don't think you want to welcome some people to sit on a couch all day long. It wasn't as corporate as some of the other record stores. It was a little bit more freer, and not as, like say like the Warehouse and other stores were a little more corporate, but they were more like kind of a hippie kind of store. And our store was in the Valley, and it had a laundromat next door, so people would do their laundry and sit on the couch and listen to music all day. And they gave out free licorice too, so.
My name is Matthew Middleton, also known as XL Middleton. I run the record label Mo-Funk Records, and I run the record store Saltbox Records right here in Chinatown, Los Angeles. People in general, when it comes to music and maybe art in general, are just a little bit more eclectic and open-minded. Music is life stylized. It's an expression of what we go through, what we feel, what we see, that's just presented artistically than just me telling you how my day was, you know? The way that I feel about having my record label and my record store and knowing that it might be touching people or inspiring people in some kind of way, I mean, that's the ultimate, validation of what I'm doing, because that's all I want to do is inspire people, make them feel good, or make them want to go out and figure out how they can inspire somebody else with their art, The genres of music that I tend to lean more towards would be obviously like a lot of boogie funk, 80s funk, 70s soul, 90s hip hop, especially with a special slant towards like West Coast G-funk, but I would say all 90s hip hop. There's something about the physical item that ties you to it, creates more of a bond between you as a person and the music. It makes it a little bit less disposable. It makes you focus in on the music a lot harder because you have this record right in front of you that might have 8 songs on it. You don't have 10 million songs at your fingertips on your phone.
My name is Alex Rodriguez, also known as Record Safari, and right now we're in my store that's called Record Safari, and I am a DJ and record store owner, and I go out and find records for people to take home and enjoy. Music is a universal language in the fact that we all have music in all our culture, whether it sounds different in different cultures, and everything is music. Just anything can be made into music. It's something that can teleport you to a time in your life, buying a record and you remember listening to it when it first came out, or it's also mom and dad come in with their kids and they're all like, oh, Fleetwood Mac. They all love Fleetwood Mac, And so I think it's like records are important in the fact that they bring a connection to people.
I used to say 20 years from now, younger people wouldn't know what a record is, which was a mistake. 20 years from now, they're not going to know what a CD is, but they're definitely going to know what vinyl is. A little bit of vinyl, a little bit of history, and which has led to what we've got here right now.
When I was young, that's all I knew. We listened to vinyl in my house. My dad had, Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder we were talking about, and
original gatefold copy of the first Super Sister album, featuring Robert Palmer. He was sort of a side musician who played with Robert Palmer. Great deal for 99 cents.
I tend to buy older records. That's just for me. Part of it's just a cost thing.
I've got like 1,300 records that I've collected over the pandemic, which is like nuts, I think.
I like the way it sounds. I like the way the culture is presented. To have 144 square inches of artwork on a panel.
I think there is just this kind of slow cultural sort of build-up that has led to, I think like a total vinyl resurgence, which I think is fantastic.